My name is Freddy Guzman. I became an educator because I hate poverty, racism, ignorance, and injustice. Plus, I really wanted to have an impact on young people. For 15 years, I've worked in numerous schools and taught students at all levels of our educational system. I've worked in traditional district schools, private institutions, and for the last few years, privately owned charter schools. I've had the privilege to serve not only as a teacher but also as an administrator. Currently, I'm teaching math and science in a progressive middle school near downtown Los Angeles. For years, I've had a dream of researching, writing, and drawing attention to the history of public education in Los Angeles. I want to address the questions of how we got to this point and what significant lessons we can learn from the past. I think it's important to pinpoint the forces that have kept our education system from being phenomenal. The great Spanish philosopher George Santayana once said, "Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it." In short, I want to write a book titled The History of Public Education in Los Angeles. I know this is going to be an arduous task, but I'm confident that my personal experience, along with my academic preparation, have equipped me thoroughly for this exciting journey. I arrived in this world-renowned metropolis when I was only 10 years old. I came just in time to watch the Dodgers win the World Series and see the Rams play their last season in LA. My beautiful grandmother wasted no time in taking me and enrolling me at the nearest public school. I welcomed the opportunity of adopting a new culture and a new language. Months just after completing elementary school, I found myself in a school bus full of Latino students. We were headed west to Brentwood, California, to start junior high school, currently known as middle school. The surroundings were affluent and the demographics were radically different from ours. Most of my friends returned to their home schools, but I stayed on the bus. 6 years later, I graduated from Pacific Palisades High School. For years, I fluctuated between sunny beaches and symbolic murals painted in unsafe streets, between quiet, pristine neighborhoods and the presence of constant police activity. While my classmates lived lives that we only experienced through television, a lot of us lived in survival mode. We had a lot of things to work through. You didn't have to be a genius to realize the drastic difference between the school I attended and the schools in my neighborhood. I operated on both sides of the educational gap. While Palisades was creating the leaders of tomorrow, friends in my neighborhood stopped attending classes and eventually dropped out of school. Gradually, they became immersed in other things, and school was not a priority anymore. I believe a lot of them might have stayed if someone had scaffolded the material to make it more relevant and more engaging. All results indicated that poor communities weren't doing well educationally. Of course, there were many exceptions, men and women who worked hard and had a different vision for their lives. Me, I wasn't well versed in the different colleges. I didn't know the difference from one college to the other. I just applied. Fortunately, I was accepted at San Diego State University. I knew I wanted to help others, so I completed a BA in psychology. In my need to understand my native country and all its political and military conflicts, I also completed a master's in Latin American studies. Eventually, I moved back to Los Angeles and earned 2 additional degrees in a teaching credential. It was good to be back in LA. From its inception, the people of this city have coexisted in what I call parallel cultures. Though we've occupied the same general space, our realities have been drastically different, linguistically, economically, and educationally. In this book, I want to document how different cultures have accessed and approach educational systems differently. Intertwined in this journey of parallel paths, I also want to address the walkouts in East Los Angeles in the late 60s, the response of school districts to the thousands of immigrants who flooded classrooms throughout the county, the growth, contributions, and eventual exodus of African Americans, the academic dominance of Asians, as well as the birth and rise of charter schools. This is a book that needs to be written, especially at this time of competing trends. District schools versus charter schools, all standards versus new Common Core curriculum, union versus non-union entities. Understanding where we come from can provide insight to where we're at. Please support the writing of this book.
Hi, I'm Steve Zimmer from the LA School Board, and I'm happy to support Freddy Guzman in his efforts to document the history of all the different things in Los Angeles. Please support him.
In addition to other needs, this funding will allow me 2 focused years of full-time research and writing. Thank you for your time.